What's up, guys? It's Connor, the Salt Fairy himself, and I'm joined with the mouse himself, Owens.
Hey, buddies. Hey,
And
guys.
today, what do we have, Owen?
We have my Musketeer, new actor deck profile.
Alright, do you want to get us started then?
Sure, as always, we have Kira as our starter.
It's just another Musketeer.
Obviously, it's Musketeer, and for the grade 3s, we're running 4 Cecilia and 4 Martina. Cecilia's obviously
The bread and butter of the deck.
bread and butter of the deck, being able to bring out like 3 units once you've got it on a grade 3. It gives a good lot of power to the front row. Martina is your backup. If you haven't got Cecilia in your hand and you've got Martina, she's a good starter to kind of get that grade 3 for Cecilia. And when she's called out through any of the Musketeer skills, she gets an extra 5k in a crit, which is really good for really good when you're actually riding a tour for your grade 2 turn. And she does have a vanguard effect herself. With a Soul Blast and a retire, she gets to call out 1 unit from the top 5. So these two are really kind of like good synergy along with everything else.
On to the grade 2s.
On to the grade 2s. For Sylvia, obvious. 4 Tor and 3 Kaivan. Tor is the new girl here. For a counterblast and a retire, she checks top 3, and you can call out 2 Musketeers or 1 unit. Which actually goes with quite a few of the skills which have on-play skills, which really does help. Like getting
you want to be calling the grade 3.
To be honest, you want to be calling Martina and potentially either one of these two, and in particular a grade 1 that I'm also running, which really helps with the high pressure turns.
Plus Calvon's good pressure.
And Clivant is good pressure, even if you have to throw down maybe a trigger with some of your tokens out, he can get really good numbers. And grade 1s, we have 4 Rebecca, 4 Mecca, 3 Gaston, and 3 Fruits Basket. Gaston is the new guy. You really want to call him out from Cecilia, Martina, and Tor, because when he's called from deck, he gets an extra 10k, which actually really puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, even if it's just on like a simple grade 2 turn. It's a lot of pressure. Merca's here for your starting plays, just to get token out so you can retire
The ideal first ride.
It is the ideal first ride, yeah. Rebecca, always a good pick for Musketeers, because when she's called out, she gives another grade 1 or less, an extra 5k, and for a Soul Blast and retire at the end of your turn, retire with a token at the end of your turn, she can actually bounce to hand. And Fruits Basket is here to generate tokens to help with Kaivan and Rebecca and like getting high power lanes.
Just good advantage all around.
Yep, definitely right. Yeah, definitely a good advantage for her. And the trigger lineup, we have the 4 heal, 4 draw, and 8 crit. To be honest, this is the best way to go for it. I personally think, because you've got more higher pressure with your crits.
You need the crit pressure.
You do need the crit pressure, but to be honest, Musketeers work best with Force 1 than they do with 2.
Excel?
I'm too used to playing Excel clans.
Bloody touchy main.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Yeah, being on Force 1 actually puts more pressure on for these guys, because obviously with Martina gaining a crit by herself, and you've got a lot of things that can give a little bit of pressure, you need the crits to kind of like give that extra little boost.
Push.
and a little and the extra push, because you're really not hitting much apart from with Martina.
Alright, well, do you want to show us a couple of little combos you can do with the deck real quick, and then we'll call it a wrap?
Yep. Like I said, with Martina being like a good first, but you really want her in the deck. I mean, your board's going to be pretty much set up for a few turns, so I mean, even going to grade 2, you want to take damage, so you ride Tor, and then through that, if you get lucky, you just bring out a Martina, which is 18,000 with a crit, just because, like, obviously you've got the token from America, you ride it, pop the token, bring out something else.
It's like the Bermuda logic, being able to bring out grade 3s that early.
Yeah. And the best actual 2 you can do is actually bringing out those 2. Then you've got a very powerful column.
Big oof unit.
A big oof unit, yeah. Literally, big oof. And I think if you really want to put a lot of pressure on your opponent, then you'd more than likely go with trying to get Sylvia out and get another token. And obviously Rebecca along with that. And then at the end of the turn, you can Soul Blast and grab Rebecca back.
Alright, is there anything else you want to show? Or?
Well, to be honest, it's the deck really speaks for itself, especially with Cecilia. I mean, you're wanting to take enough damage.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
One or 2, preferably 2s, because if you get the right units, which is highly likely. I even in a game that we play sessions, you probably will see it later. I was able to get 2 Martinas and a Gaston from Cecilia, which gave my front row like an extra 10. So I was swinging in with at least 28 on 2 rear guards with 2 crits. It's a very, very high impactful deck when played right. Yes, there is an element of luck, but it's the amount of musketeers you have that actually gives you that extra pressure. I am like, in my one weakness this does have is if you don't get the right units, or you're kind of like looking at a handful of crits when you're actually doing your skills, it's a really, really bad thing. I mean, you can choose not to call something, but then it's just a waste of a skill. And you do need damage to perform most of the skills as well. And if you're not smart, you will run out of soul before you can actually use some skills as well, which I have found. Alternate units you can use. In the grade 2 lineup, you can use Immaduk, the tree dude, for 1. And in your grade 1s, potentially, if you want to risk it, you can swap out Fruits Basket for, I think it's Maiden of Horn or something. Happy Phone. Maiden of Happy Phone, which is basically a grade 1 Sylvia. But that's really all it is. So until the next one, I'll see you guys later.
Alright, peace out, guys.